So I'm in my office, full-time realtor. And I was sitting here thinking it would have been nice for somebody to give me some insider tips on what this job would look like before I went all in. I've been a realtor full-time for 8 years now, and I think there are some things that would be helpful to know if you're wanting to do this as your career. I'm in my office right now. Here's the tour. I hope you loved it. So let's dive in. 5 things that you should know before getting into real estate. Number 1, the power of mentorship. This is something that I took for granted because both of my parents are in the business, and something that, so I should also mention, one of my roles within our brokerage is I meet with new agents, and so I get to see a lot of people's journey from start to finish. And in comparison to the fortunate start that I had, I now realize how crucial it is to have a good mentor when you're starting in the business. Let me show you something real quick. So this is all of my mom's current listings. When I started, I thought that was normal. I thought everybody just went out and met with people and they loved you immediately and they wanted you to sell their house or use you to help find them a house. And I think part of that is because I watched from a close distance somebody that was doing it at a high level. And so that was just ingrained into my brain as what I would do. And so I set higher goals for myself than I probably would have if I did not have a really solid mentor. The importance of learning from somebody who can show you the ropes, who is knowledgeable, who you can be with, and on a day-to-day basis, even for a short period of time, is huge. There's so many things that you don't even know to ask that you just learn through osmosis of being around somebody that's good at their job. It's incredibly valuable. So I would say, number 1, find a mentor. Even if you can just tag along with them on appointments or hear listing presentations or learn how they get their business, I think this will serve you so well in the long term as you start to grow a business, and raise the lid of what you think you're capable of. And when you see somebody doing something great, and you honestly realize how simple it can be, you start to have belief that it's also possible for you. So number 1, the power of mentorship. Number 2, building a network. This is something that I didn't realize. I mean, I kind of knew because I grew up with people in the business, but I didn't really know the extent of what this meant. So real estate is not an 8 to 5 job. This is a lifestyle. People will call you at all hours of the day, on weekends, at nights. You're involved in some of the most intimate decisions and parts of people's lives that they will ever experience. Getting married, getting a divorce, having babies, losing a loved one, all kinds of things. And so it is incredibly important to building a successful business that you're always networking with people, meeting new people, because you never know who your next client will be and where they'll come from. And so you always have to change your mindset, right? If you're coming from another job that was a salary job or an 8 to 5 job where you had a clock in and clock out time, this is not that job. And I love that actually, because when you accept that that's your reality, then you realize that there's always possibilities to grow and always an area where you can get new business, and you get to meet people all the time and you have an excuse to talk to them about things. People love talking about real estate. It's not like we sell insurance or something that people are just tend to want to shy away from. People always want to ask you about their house, what it's worth, what could they do to add value, different areas of town. It's just a very interesting topic. And so this is something I think will serve you well if you go into business realizing that this is just a part of your life, and you use that as a tool versus something that could maybe sometimes be inconvenient or whatever. So number 2, always be networking. It sounds cheesy, but it's true. Coming in at number 3, the financial responsibilities of this business. This is something that will be a game changer for you if you figure it out, and will destroy you if you don't. So we are a 1099 employee. So you are responsible for pulling out your own taxes, setting aside money for a rainy day, for investing, for insurance for yourself, for all kinds of things. And so if you do not realize that, if you don't find somebody who's good at doing your taxes, that knows real estate, that knows your business, that knows how to help you when it comes tax time, you will pay so much and you will have not saved enough. And so I think this is something that I'm always learning to hone in. And you know, I'm over the top conservative when it comes to my finances, but I would rather be that way than you know, the reality of what I see with a lot of agents, which is they don't set aside money for taxes. They don't set aside money for investing in their retirement. They don't set aside money for investing in real estate. All these things that they wish they could do, they get a paycheck, it goes in their bank and goes out the next day. And this is a business where you get a check and it looks sweet, and then you pull out all your expenses, your brokerage splits, your taxes, all your fees that you've paid, and it gets a little bit smaller, but that's okay. You just need to know how to manage it very well. So number 3, learn how to manage your finances well, and set aside money for the growth of your business for the future, right? You want to grow, you want to have the ability to say yes to more things and to more people. And so just live small in the beginning, that way you can live big later. Marketing and branding. This is something I see a lot of agents make a mistake of or try to fix when it's too late, and it's very hard to fix after the fact. So let me explain what I'm talking about. You are your marketing, right? I mean, we market homes and we market property for sellers, but before all of that, you've got to get people to say yes to working with you. And a lot of agents don't put enough emphasis on how they present themselves to the world, and will either go over the top and be very divisive in some ways, which, yeah, there's a place and a time to niche down and figure out who your people are, but also you don't want to scare people away before they're even willing to call you and learn about you because they saw something online that you posted that was just wild, or you just looked sloppy in some way. So I think this is something I would put a big emphasis on, right? From day one, think about who your audience is, what your branding looks like, what level of professionalism that you're going to submit out there to the world, because this is key, this is crucial. And you know, the flip side of that is not caring or not putting any thought into it, and everything looks like everybody else, right? I mean, you want to stand out, you want your stuff to look good and clean and professional, and also let people know that you're a real person and not this like robot that just lists properties. And so you want to connect with people on a personal level and get to know them well. And so how you market yourself is very important before you ever even get to listing a property. Number 4.
Okay, I haven't eaten lunch and I'm still alive. Are you surprised?
I am surprised. That was my wife. So that leads me into number 5, which is this idea of work-life balance. I think a lot of people oversimplify this or don't think about it enough, and they think work-life balance means that you segment everything completely, and in so giving 50% weight in one hand and 50% weight in the other hand is the definition of work-life balance, and it just doesn't work that way. So we're in a job that we don't clock out and we're completely done till the next day, and that's completely okay. I think bringing my family into the fold and explaining to them what I'm doing and setting expectations of what the hours look like and when I'm working and when I'm not going to be working, when I'm going to be with them, and give them the attention that they deserve as my main priority is everything. This is going to be a job that demands a lot of your time and attention, but it's also a job that gives you more freedom than any 8-to-5 job could. I can leave and take my kids wherever in the middle of the day, whenever I want to. And so, setting boundaries, setting expectations, because if you're fighting the uphill battle against the people that mean the most to you in your life, it's going to be very hard to succeed in this business. And so I think it's crucial to have the conversation early, let them know what you're working for and what it could mean for your family down the road, and I think that's hugely important. So number 5, work-life balance. So there you have it. Those are top 5 things I wish I knew before I was in real estate. There's a lot more, and I wanna know in the comments. Let me know what things that you have questions about if you're considering this as a career. I would be more than happy to answer. I could easily do a part 2 to this video answering any questions you guys have, or if there's other things as a realtor, if you're watching this, that you would like me to add, or you think are also very important that you wish you knew before you got into this business. At the end of the day, I think this is one of the best jobs in the world. I love what I do, and I get to hang out with some of the coolest people in my city and see some of the coolest houses and properties available in our city, and I get to make a great living and have a lot of fun and a lot of freedom and flexibility because of this job. So don't be scared to go all in and give it everything you've got, because I think it is well worth it if you put the work in. Until next time.